So I'd like to begin today by acknowledging the Kombumerri people as the traditional owners of the lands on which we're meeting today, and also to acknowledge and pay respects to the diverse and often moral connections and also dynamic connections that traditional owners and First Nations people have to their lands and seas. Yep. And in a climate-changed world with increasing disasters like floods, fires, navigating different energy transitions and events like coral bleaching, governing the reef really means navigating, we've already heard about this from different speakers today, is navigating uncharted moral and ethical terrain. And what I want to put to you today is that examining people's moralities or people's deeply held moral values might be of use to people trying to govern the reef, to coastal communities, to traditional owners, to different stakeholders in trying to navigate these uncertain futures pragmatically and fairly. It might play a certain role. And when I talk about morality and moral values, I'm talking about ideas about what's right and wrong, good or bad, and also those normative ideas about how things should or shouldn't be done. And work around morality and moral values and trying to connect it with environmental governance has highlighted that the reasons why morality might give us an insight that might be useful. First of all, morals motivate and frame environmental decisions at different scales. So at an individual scale, the different moral values that you hold might shape whether you engage in a certain environmental behaviour or activity. It might enable or constrain different adaptation options that you might take in response to environmental change. And research has also shown that if you reframe something in a way that resonates with someone morally, they might be more willing to change their behaviour. Work in sociology and anthropology has highlighted that morality is also relational, situated and dynamic, which are kind of abstract ways of saying that our morals depend on our social and cultural context, but they can change in different situations. So what is morally permissible or morally right in normal times might look quite different when you're facing or in the middle of an environmental disaster or a crisis. And finally, work in environmental governance has really noted that moralities exist across different scales of governance. So right up to the high-level policies, there are implicit moral values at play, but they are often left implicit. And work trying to, I guess, engage those implicit moral values at higher scales all the way down through to the individual scale is quite nascent. And so a lot of this work is really coming out of the US and the UK. There's a little bit in Australia. Not much yet has been done along the reef, which, of course, there are so many different actors, stakeholders, traditional owner groups, governance actors here, all with different normative and moral values that might be shaping the way that they navigate these uncertain futures as they arise. And so what I'm planning and hoping to do over the next couple of years, after a small hiatus, is to look at case studies of issues, tensions, changes in policies where these moral values might come into play and ask questions like, how do people's moral values actually shape how they adapt to or don't adapt to environmental change, what they think of as fair and how they frame arguments around navigating futures, and whether there are processes for capturing and translating these moral values up to higher scales of governance so that those who are making those difficult ethical moral decisions about what values to save and where to put effort might be better informed in ways that are pragmatic and work towards sustainable and more ethical futures. So I'm very keen to chat to anyone who might have projects or be thinking, oh, I come across these issues all the time in my work. I'd love to chat, come and talk to me, or also email me, particularly if you're online, you can't come and chat to me. Shoot me an email. I'd love to get these conversations going. Thank you.